Hello, I'm Richard Banham. I'm the rector at St Helens Church in Wheathampstead.
Hi, I'm Claire and I'm the reader at St Helens in Wheathampstead.
And I'm Jeff and I'm the Associate Director at STEP, which is the St Albans and Harpenden Christian Education Project.
So here in St Helens in Wheathampstead, we're in the middle of a really large village, but it's kind of a semi-rural context. Lots of people commute from here. It's a really traditional church, but we have got the blessing of being in the centre of the village, so there's lots of footpaths going past us and lots of people pass our doorstep.
We were working with the Year 6s in our local village school, and we were working with STEP to do transition work to help them prepare to move up to secondary schools. And whilst we were running the sessions, we realised that the number one anxiety for these kids as they looked ahead was actually being split up from their friends. There was a particular issue with schools that year that the pupils could be sent to one of 10 different schools. So, naturally they were feeling pretty worried about not being able to connect with their friends. So we kind of started to think, what could we do?
And having worked with STEP on the transition days, we felt we'd built enough of a relationship with the children to be able to move on with them. So doing something in church, we didn't have masses of resources, but we have got a church that has some open space in it, so it felt like we could do something in church. And then we came up with the idea of donuts being the solution to people's anxiety. So we thought that we could gather them together, provide a space for them, and if we advertised it as donuts and hot chocolates, they'd be more likely to come along.
So STEP have been running Step Up days for a few years before we did them here, and they're just days for Year 6s to help them transition up to secondary school. So we look at friendship and identity, we look at them going on these journeys and how God can journey with them. And we've found them being amazing days where we've connected with the Year 6 students and then been able to see them in Year 7, and they know us with familiar faces, and then they join different groups as well. So we already had these running, and St Helens Church wanted to run one in St Helens Primary School, so we gladly assisted them in that.
And then that meant that actually we were able to, before the end of term, we kind of picked up that there was this anxiety issue going on. We were able to kind of talk as a team, what could we do to help with that. And then we were able to go back in before the end of that term and sort of unveil a plan that we would be there opening up this church for the kids as they came back from school once a week on a Wednesday with Donut Club. And it went down really well. You could kind of, even as we were giving out the invitations, you could just sense the anticipation and the sense that they'd probably been heard, maybe, and the fact that we were actually providing them something that they really needed.
We were a little bit worried about how some of our existing church members would feel about like a load of kids coming in and eating donuts in the church because we haven't got a church hall. But actually, when we told the church about it, they were so excited that we were providing this space for children, because on a Sunday we don't get that many children in church. But we had people offering to pay for the donuts from the existing church family, and then some of the mums, because we needed extra support, to kind of help staff it, and some of the mums of those Year 7s were like, yeah, we could help, not every week, but we got a rota together. So it was one of those things that finding volunteers wasn't as hard for this as it has been for some other things.
So one really positive story that came from it was one young lad who we met at the Step Up Day, and he came along to Donut Club. And I saw him at school in a lesson. I think we were talking about the Bible. And he showed a bit of an interest, but because of that he came along to the Christian Union at that lunchtime, which I was able to advertise. And over the weeks at Donut Club I was just able to sit with him and chat with him about different things, or even if it was just him playing games on his phone, we built a relationship with him, and he still comes and says hello. We see him at Sandringham. So yeah, it's a great story, and there are many more similar to that.
And although that family haven't started coming to church, they're a family that we do have links with in the village, and that has really helped to strengthen the link, and the family are really grateful for the way we've invested into their young people. We
were just bowled over by how many kids turned up. It was yeah, it was really exciting to see them rocking up to Donut Club on that first Wednesday and beyond. And in fact, out of a cohort of about between 60 and 70 kids going over to secondary school that year, we saw about 45 of them over the duration of Donut Club, which is incredible.
So originally we'd only planned to run it for that first half term, so that to get over that initial anxiety, but it proved so popular we ended up running it all the way through to Easter, so 2 whole terms. Now numbers went up and down as you expect, but actually even when we had lower numbers we found we were better able to build the relationships with the young people. So it wasn't about numbers, but it was really good for our relationships with the kids.
And so we've carried on, and so this year we've started again with a whole new cohort, and it's going down just as well. The donuts are as popular as ever, and hot chocolates with marshmallows and cream don't hurt either. The key thing is working out what the need is for the young people in your community. So we spotted something that we thought we could make a difference for them. So see what the need is, and then see how you as a church can meet that need. And of course we got to talk to Step about partnering with us, which was brilliant and really helpful.
Yeah, and if you're looking to get involved in your local secondary school, feel free to come and speak to us at Step. If you're in St Albans and Harpenden, you come join us in the schools that we work at. Otherwise, feel free to get in touch and we'll give you as much advice as we possibly can.